This is a review of rates, which is 2.2 in Chapter 2. A rate compares two quantities measured in different units. So for example, if your bike goes 20 kilometers in 1 hour, we have two different units there, one being kilometers and one being hours. So this would be an example of a rate. Or if you went to the grocery store and you saw that strawberries cost $1.70 per 100 grams, one unit is dollars, one unit is grams. So this is another example of a rate. One special type of rate is called a unit rate. This is a rate in which the second term is always 1. So whenever you see this word unit, whether it be calling it a unit rate or a unit price, we always want this bottom number down here to be 1. So 30 kilometers per 1 hour is called a unit rate. Let's try to change this 500 meters in 40 seconds into a unit rate. If I set up my first fraction as 500 meters in 40 seconds, I want to always make that into another fraction where my bottom number is 1. 1 second. Well, what do I do to 40 to get to 1? I divide by 40. So I essentially just take 500 and divide that by 40. You should find out that you will go 12.5 meters in 1 second. You've now changed this into a unit rate. We use unit rates when we are trying to find the better buy. So when we're trying to find out which one is the better deal. If we look at this bottle of orange juice, we see that it's $2 for 500 milliliters. But if we go to the very back of the grocery store, we could get a whole carton of orange juice for $3.20 for 1,000 milliliters. If we put them both so that they're out of the same amount, we would be able to compare the two of them. So let's set up our first fraction as $2 for 500 milliliters. Let's change it into 100 milliliters. We change it into 100 milliliters so that we don't get answers that are very, very small. What do I do to 500 milliliters to get to 100 milliliters? Well, I divide by 5. If I divide the top by 5, $2 divided by 5, I get that this is 40 cents per 100 milliliters. Now, if I try this carton of orange juice, I want to make it out of 100 milliliters too so that I can compare them. They always have to be the same. What do I do to 1,000 to get to 100? Well, I divide by 10. So if I divide the top by 10, I find out that this one is actually only 32 cents per 100 milliliters. That makes this one the better buy. Okay, it's less expensive for 100 milliliters for us to just buy the carton of juice. We also use unit price to find out how much individual items cost. So for example, if you go to the store and buy 4 pens for $8, you can find out how much each pen costs. So take the total cost for all the pens, $8. Make sure you put that that's for 4 pens. I always try to put my dollars on the top so that I know right away on this side I'm looking for the cost of 1 pen. My unknown number is on the top. What do I do to 4 to get to 1? Well, I divide by 4. Divide by 4. I find out that each pen costs me $2. One more example. If Sally made $36 selling lemonade for 3 hours, how much did she make per hour? So again, let's set up two equivalent fractions. I like to put my dollars on the top, $36 for 3 hours. Always make sure I put my units in, dollars and hours. So then I know right away on my other fraction, hours goes on the bottom because it was on the bottom in my first fraction. What do I do to 3 to get to 1? I divide by 3. So you divide your top number by 3. You find out that Sally made $12 per 1 hour. This is again called a unit rate because the bottom number is a 1. That's a review of 2.2 rates.